Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Bagcampus PowerCamp 2021. Where we are going to learn about data science, and today's our topic of discussion is the analytical methods of data science. So, I am Rishabh Srivanshi. I welcome you all for this best session of analytical methods in data science. So, let's get started with today's agenda. So, what we are going to learn today is the data exploration. We will be discussing on data exploration, means reading the data files. What is data frames, data import, and data export? We will learning about the statistical methods, like we will explore applying basic statistical methods like mean, max, variance on data. We will also learn what is data visualization in Python, and we will learn how we install pandas in Python. So before starting with today's agenda, let's discuss what we have learned in previous session. So from our learnings from previous session, we have learned basics of data science, where we learned about data science prerequisites, components, and tools. What are open access dataset? We learned about UCI ML repos and visual data. So we have learned in our previous session that data science is a deep study of massive amount of data, which involves extracting meaningful, insightful, raw, structured, and unstructured data. This is processing using statistical mathematical models. So we also learn whether needs of data, prerequisites of data science, tool use in data science. So while discussing about needs of data science, we learned that each and every internet user is producing a huge amount of data per minute. So handling such a huge amount of data is a challenging task for every organization. So to handle, process and analyze of this, we require complex, powerful and efficient algorithm and technology. And that technology came into existence as a data science. While discussing more about need of data, we'll learn with the help of data science technology, we can convert the massive amount of raw and unstructured data into massive, meaningful insight data. Then we learn that data science technology is obtained by various companies, whether it is a big brand or a startup. Google, Amazon, Netflix, and many other organizations which handle the huge amount of data are using data science algorithm for better customer experience. We learned that data science is working for automating transportation, such as a self-driving car, which is the future of transportation. We also learned that data science can help in different predictions, such as various surveys, elections, flight ticket confirmation, and more. We learned about prerequisites of data science, that as mathematical modeling, computer programming, statistics, database. We learned that we require fast mathematical calculations and predictions for the available data with the help of mathematical modeling. We need basic understanding of statistics such as mean, median, or standard deviation, and we also going to discuss in our today's session about that. We have to have basic knowledge in computer programming like Python programming language, which is used for data science and databases understanding to get the data and work with data. We also learn about data science component, data statistics, domain expertise, data engineering, visualization, and advanced computing. We learn about data analysis tools and data science tools, which are some on your screens. After getting knowledge about various tools, we come to know about what is open access dataset. We learned that open access dataset is a data that can be freely used, reused, and redistributed by anyone, subject only at most to the requirement to the attribute. We also took tour to Google Dataset Search and Kaggle, and we come to know about what is UCI ML repos, and also we discuss about what is visual data. Now let's move to our today's agenda, in which we are going to learn about data exploration. So let's get started with data exploration. So we are installing pandas at very last step. So for that, we are not using Jupyter Notebook for today's session, and throughout the data science sessions, we are not going to use Jupyter Notebook. For that, we will be describing more it in a ML session, which will be hosted by Ritesh. So you can visit up for ML sessions where you can go for how we start with the Jupyter notebook. But so for that, we are moving with the Google Collabs firstly. So Google Collabs is also a better Jupyter notebook alternative, which is also available online, and we can use it at any platform. So we will be preferring more with Google Colab. So I will just click on to create a new notebook. Before it is loading, we are moving very strictly to whatever we have our syllabus. We discussed about data collection. Today we are going to learn about data exploration. So firstly, we will be going to know what is data frame. So before that, let's take a tour to what is a Google Colab or what is Jupyter Notebook and how we use it. So for that, I'm just going to start with importing pandas as a PD. So before it is loading, as I can see, some students have joined us late. So let me tell them what we are discussing right now. We are discussing about data exploration. As the name suggests, data exploration, it is an approach of data analysis about data and data frame. So by just exploring about data, we will understand about what is data and how we use data, right? So currently we are moving with what is data frame. So hope it runs fastly. So in the 0 second it loads and it is giving us a right tick. So you can just go to file and you can download this. If you have already a notebook, you can upload it here. You can add it, view, insert. So this is simply how it works. If you have to add specific text, you can add up text just like I'm adding here. We are going to learn about data sets. So I'm just adding data frame, sorry. So I want to add that with data frame that the data frame is a two-dimensional data structure in which data is aligned in tabular form. So I'm writing here data frame. It is two-dimensional data structure. And for you only, I want to give you a confirmation that this is going to be in a tabular form. So to learn that, we will start with initializing a empty data frame. So let's get started with that. So I will add okay, I'm not trying to add any comment. So I'm declaring a variable df in which I'm using pd, which is pandas dot data frame. So this basically initialize data frame. What I will do is printing a df. So if I will click on the run button, I will get a empty data frame. So now for that, what I will do is, as you have learned empty data frame, I will add some data in this data frame. So currently I am adding a simple data 1, 2, 3, 4, and I will pass this data in data frame. And if I will run this, you are able to see simple structure tabular like this. So in which you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and a row data, right? Now what I will do is I will try with multi-dimensional data, multi-dimensional array to pass as a data and to see what type of result we get. So you can see that we get a similar result of multi-dimensional data. So I will try to make some changes up in this multi-dimensional data. I will add some student details such as I have a student whose name is Ram and whose age is 10 years of old. Then I have another student whose name is Sham and whose age is coming as 9 years of old. Then there is a student whose name is Geeta. Let's his name is also 10, and let's check what's the data we are going to get. So as you can see on your screen, we are going to get a data similar to like this. But what we have to do is we have to view the columns. So we will go with the columns. So hope so I can put capital C here, and I will go with name, comma, age. Let's run. So this is giving us a short error. So for that, let me go to that search means show you some things about this error. So please wait for 2 minutes. Because of my network issue, this error is coming. Here I made a mistake. I gave a space and C is capital. So I'm making it small. Let's run this. And again, it is giving me error because I have made a mistake in the spelling of columns. Now let's learn. So you can see that we get it name and age. So this is how we use data frames. I will click on a plus tab. We have shown you about data frame. Now it is time to explore about file system. So I will just go with the plus tic tac, and I want to add that we are learning exploring file. So we kept up here like this. So I will delete this. So we have to learn exploring the files. So basically, the data we are going to use are basically stored in a .csv file, and we learned yesterday only that we have a better platform which will help us in finding data, which is Kaggle. So I will fastly move to Kaggle.com and we can search for a data set. So I'm using a COVID-19 India state-wise data, and I will just click on the download. You will get a register bar and you have to download this data. We also learn about metadata. Yesterday we have forgotten to learn about what is metadata. So metadata is basically the data which informs about the data. This we learn in a digital marketing that meta is a tag which describe about the website. Similarly, metadata is data which describe about the data which we are working. For example, this is a database and here it is a data about this data that this is under this license. Visibility is public. Sources about collection methodology, dataset owner. Hope so you understand what is metadata. Data about the dataset is a metadata. So let me download this and let me use it here. So I have downloaded it properly. So I can just go by clicking up here. Here you can also have some sample datas, right? But I will upload a new file. So here up I have uploaded properly about latest COVID-19 India status.csv. So I'll just click up here on this three dots. I can just click on copy path. Okay, this path is going to be helpful for us. So what we are going to do right now is we are creating a simple variable named data. We are using pd dot read csv and we are going to pass the file name. It shows me the right click, right? So what I want to do is I want to check about the head part of data. So I will click on data.head. I'll write there and I can see this data set in which I can see the state as Andaman Nicobar. Total cases are 7,560, active cases are 10, discharged 7,421, 129 deaths, active ratio, discharge ratio, death ratio. So we can learn more about this data. For that, we will just click on one more code snippet. Then I want some last few details. So I will use data tell. I will receive this 5 states and you use Telangana, Tripura, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and West Bengal. Also, I can go with the data describe to know more about this data. So here up is the data which we have. So how many cases are there? We can have a count. We can have the count of total columns in here. We can also know about what is a mean, what is a standard, what is minimum number, what is average, or we call as median, and what is maximum number, right? We can check about the shape about this data. So I will just go with data dot shape and I will just check how many columns and rows are here. So there are 36 columns and 8 rows. Sorry if then I am going with data dot is null. I have to check whether there is some null values or not. So I'm going with is null dot sum. Sorry. So I will just refresh. Okay, there is some problem. So we can also check whether it is a null or not with this. Currently it is not working properly in mine. So let me just check about the error, what error it is. We quickly go through the colapse.google. So there was some error with network, I think so. So here it is, the result data.isNull.sum. We can find that there is no null value up here and not made any changes up here. Okay, you can see. So here we described that reading a data from file, we learned about data frames. We also learn how we import data, and let's learn how we export. So we click on this and we can download this data in a py.ipnyb and we can export it also. To open it, we can just go with open notebook to import this data, right? So we learned this also. We also applied a basic statistical method like mean, max, variance. Now let's visualize this data with the. So to visualize the data, we have to learn charts and C1 and metapolis. So I will just add up with a text about that firstly. So we are just learning. Don't worry, these are not anything big or issue related thing. I have to share this with you. For that only I am writing this stuff. I'll start with the code and I will delete this. So I will just go with import cborn as sns, and I will go with import matplotlib. Then I will click on run button. It shows me that all queries has fired properly. So I will just go with sns dot count plot in which I want x-axis should be total guesses. Okay, I will just go with the active ratio for now because it should not be a big problem. So active ratio, and I'm going with percentage. This is the name of the column, and you have to give data equal to data, and let's run. So there is some error again. So we come to know about that this is a value error, that active ratio is something problem. So what I will do is I will just copy this from here, okay, so that I can use it here directly. Yes, I made some error up here with the name only. I will just click on refresh, and we can have a great ratio about the graph. We can come to know about this. So we delete it from active ratio to I want to the name of total cases. Copy. I will paste it here. Let's take a refresh bar again. And here it is, some data visualization about total cases. We can also check about this discharge ratio. So here it come with the same problem again. So I just missed with this. And we receive this type of image. So similarly, we learned about the count plot. We have to learn more about this. We have to know more about replot, cat plot, box plot, and we have to learn as many as new things and data visualization in our coming section here in the data visualization. So we completed with all our topic and agenda of discussion today. So you understand this. So let's revise them again with start. So this was all about our today's agenda, in which we learn about data exploration, statistical method, data visualization, and we also learn how we install pandas. To run it, a special command which will be a label, we can install pandas in our local library. Also, we'll learn more in detail in ML sections with Ritesh. Thank you for the response today. Now let's move to what's assignment we are assigning you today. So our today's assignment will be you have to create the same thing and upload the screenshot or the IPYB file, right, to the submission. So you can check about that. So complete data exploration on state-wise COVID-19 report. So here it is, your today's assignment. You have to complete data exploration on state-wise COVID-19 report. Hope so you will be able to complete this assignment properly. Thank you for your attendance. Thank you. I'm taking signing off for the session. Thank you.